Hello, this is Goku for the Sim 1, and I'm back, this time with a requested review from Tony V585, and he requested me to do an analysis of which game I think is better, uh, Super Mario versus Sonic. Now, before I go into the video, this is only going to be the main games. This is anything that is a 2D, 3D platformer counts. Anything else does not count. So, let's look at this analysis. This is going to be an analysis. It's not going to be which game I like better. This is going to be me more looking at the games. Where Super Mario Brothers came out in '85, and it was a fairly good game. It had its issues, but looking at this fairly, Sonic came out in 1991. And the first thing I have to admit right now is I don't think it's that replayable. The reason why I don't think it's that replayable is it had issues. Now, when I first started to think about doing this video, I was under the impression that Sonic came out before Super Mario World, which would have completely changed my argument because I would have understood a couple of those ideas because they had never seen they wouldn't have seen a game that had main saving issues. Like, it wouldn't have been that common. There were very few games that could save. Certainly no platformers had save features at that time. But then I found out Super Mario World did a year before Sonic was released. It was on store shelves. They could have saw it. And it came out a year after Mario. So they really could have went back and added that. That takes away the replay value of the game because I'm not going to sit there and replay the same level 8 times to beat it. The other thing that Super Mario World did, which let's compare Super Mario with Sonic 1, is Super Mario World. Before Super Mario World came out, Super Mario Brothers 3, which I was going to compare a lot to, had branching paths. Super Mario World took this into a whole big way. You could beat the game by going to World 2. I recently went through Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World, and I beat them recently. And I got to that point where I could have beaten the game at World 2, and that's interesting to me, is that you can do stuff like that in Super Mario World, where Sonic had a good launch, had I believe 4 games for the Sega Genesis. That was its heyday. Mario is really never really had a heyday. I can never tell you a time where Mario was better than any other time. There have been times where there have been better games coming out, but you wait a generation and then you get and then you get a new game. Mario also hasn't had that many games coming out. It's had 1 game per generation since the N64, which was 3 generations, until now, where now we've gotten several games. Sonic was best in 2D, and it started to branch off in 3D. Let's get more into the meat of things, because yes, in Sonic 3 they added the save feature. It's a very linear game. All the Sega Genesis Sonic games are very linear. It didn't have to be. They could have had a map world. They could have added more to it. Also, the thing I do notice is that most Sonic games have very similar levels. You see a hill-like area in virtually every Sonic game that I remember. These are things that you pretty much see time and time again. Where in Mario, depending on the game, you get a world that is unique to that game. Yes, they will take themes and ideas and they will put it in other ones, but the worlds do look. Super Mario Brothers 3 to Super Mario World looks very different, and that's refreshing. When I played those games, I wasn't feeling even the last area, Bowser's area or Koopa's, whatever his name is for those particular games, look different. they look distinctive, and that to me is really cool and really awesome. I mean, it's just to show you how much detail they actually put into it. And I I can't give Sonic a mulligan because games existed beforehand that had these certain things that would have made Sonic games better. And yes, I understand your first Sonic game. You have a little wiggle room. Super Mario Brothers 3, I can forgive that for not having save because games didn't have save that commonly. Very few games, it was very difficult. Cartridges could only store so much, and I understand that it was limitations. Unless the Sega Genesis cartridges were vastly different from the Super Nintendo cartridges, they should have been able to have save features. And I don't think that game was terribly big game. Now, yes, Sonic was faster, but you really weren't exploring the world. You were just zooming through it. Where Mario, you get to see the world. You get these really awesome power-ups. You do get power-ups in Sonic, but they're almost always timed power-ups. In Mario, you actually get these really cool power-ups. In each game, they have unique ones. Super Mario Brothers 3 had some of the best ones. Super Mario World had the cape. Now let's finally get on to 3D, where Super Mario 64 was the first 3D entry for Mario. It wasn't as much of a Mario game in my mind. It changed a lot of things, but it's a great game. I will never say it's not a great game, but it took me years to finally beat the game because of the fact that they changed it so dramatically. They changed the formula, and now we're getting games that use that formula, and they finally released a game that is 3D that does have the things that I wanted in a 3D Mario game, and that's Super Mario Land 3D. But yeah, Sonic had one good 3D game, and that was Sonic Adventures. And as good of a game as that is the beginning of the downfall for Sonic. Sonic has had some games over the years that have been good, but not that many. In the last 3 years, Mario has had consistently 3 great games. Not counting this year. And this year, we're going to get another game that I guarantee you will be good. They have been both on the Wii and the 3DS. And that shows you that Mario just lasts. He's really good. He makes really good games. And now they're making games for everybody. Where we got Super Mario Land 3D, I believe last year. This year, we're going to be getting New Super Mario Brothers 2. Which is more my style of Mario. I like those Marios really good. So it shows you that they do plan to extend Mario and make it more, and really make it where everybody has their Mario game. Actually, a friend of mine asked me, "Do you think they're ever going to make another game like New Super Mario Brothers?" And I told him, "Look at the numbers for New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I believe it sold 30 million copies. Absolutely, it's huge. And yes, the Wii U will also be getting a new Super Mario Brothers game. So yeah, Mario is going to continue to get better and better, and I think Sonic is going to struggle. Sonic was a good idea that had some good games, but ultimately I don't think it holds up to what Mario's had. Mario's had really well built, really well constructed games that had time to breathe, and really you got to enjoy the world. And I mean, you might think I'm nitpicking on Sonic, and by no means am I telling you not to go play a Sonic game. Go play Sonic games. They're very good games. They're very fun games. But ultimately they are flawed games. And the flaws to me makes it where I don't play them very often. As much as I would love to play the Sonic games I own, I don't. I very rarely. As much as I would love to play the Mario games I own, I do. Probably once a year. So that tells you how I feel. Now, yes, I will turn on a Sonic game, play a level, and then stop. But I'll never beat a Sonic game because I'm not going to sit there for X amount of hours to try to beat a game when, like, that was cool for Nintendo. That was what Nintendo had to do. And yes, games were harder back then. Today, I'm spoiled. I'm sorry. Gamers are spoiled. So, yeah. So, this was a fairly long video, but please tell me what you think. Which game do you like better? You can completely disagree, but this was not more my opinion. I do like Mario better, I will say that, but if this was more of me breaking it down, please tell me how you break it down. What is most important in a game for you? Is a game being fast and fluid? Is that more important? Because I think Sonic is more fluid, or certainly more fast. Or is a game where you actually get to take in the environment and save features, stuff like that, is that important to you? Obviously, later Sonic games did include these things. But yes, I didn't get into much detail beyond Super Nintendo, so yes. So please leave a comment and tell me what you think. This is Goku 471, and I'll see you next time. YouTube.